Right, in this video I'm going to talk to you about Commedia Dell'Arte. Commedia translates basically to theatre of the professional, meaning that this is one of the first forms of actual professional theatre that we can date. Now, Commedia dell'arte began in the 16th century in Italy, and they were actually a group of performers who would travel around and perform their shows. These shows were improvised, but when I say improvised, meaning made up the whole way through, they were actually improvised, but they had basic sketches or scenarios that they used to base these improvisations on. And not only did they have these scenarios, but they also had what we called stock characters. And the stock characters all had their own sort of role, their own sort of characteristics, and particularly their own sort of costume and mask. Most of these Commedia characters had masks. So they might have been the servants, or they might have been the old men, or the lovers. And so they would all know their role, they'd all know the basic scenario, and then they would, from there, create these improvised scenes for their audiences. They use what we call the lazzi, which is like the joke. So, it's where we get the idea of slapstick comedy from. In the Commedia dell'arte, they used literally a slapstick, which made a really funny sound, and it was a stick, and it made people laugh. It was part of the comedy, and that's where we get the idea of, the slapstick comedy that we have today. So that's Commedia dell'arte in a nutshell. We're going to use some of their the way that they move their bodies, or the particular stock characters, the way they move and manipulate their body. We're going to workshop some of that, and I'm also going to show you some pictures of some of these kind of traditional costumes and masks that these characters in Commedia used.